There are things I need of you, things you may not understand and may choose not to do. But please, do not make the same mistakes I did. My father, Howard, deserted me before I was born. I could claim that the loss of my mother and the letter I received after her funeral blinded me to what I had to do. It would be a lie. Human nature sealed my downfall. My name is Philip. If we are lucky, then by the time you receive this, I will be dead. If fate frowns, we all perish. Welcome guys to Penumbra Overture. I have played the intro of this bit of the game just because the video messed up while I was going to go try to edit it. So I know what happens a little bit in the beginning. But I've never played this game all the way through, so I haven't beaten it. So I'm terrified to know what happens. The controls are a little wonky, but that actually kind of adds to the fear factor of it, I think. But nonetheless, why don't we jump right in and see what this unique horror game is all about. I'm gonna play on normal. My story began in February, year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Welcome to Penumbra Overture. Finally, we're almost docked. I better stow my gear. It may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up using left mouse. I can take a closer look at things using right mouse. Oh, thank God. Whiskey. Empty. Shame. Wow! I'm a man, a myth, a legend. Oh, look, a chest. A note! Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest and the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of a life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in a sort of fish pots in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you've been coming by any trout, but I said that they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you've come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Fisherman's wife's love letter. Ah, that's so sweet. From the smell, I'd say there's an equal chance that they use this chest for personal belongings or bait. This chair. Move, chair. Be gone, I say. Give me that whiskey. Ha! Yeah. What's this? Always good to have a notebook to jot down interesting information and reminders of Pete. I think I've left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using my left mouse on it and holding down the button. Yeah. Okay, I know how to play. Certain maps a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Nothing like some soup. Got some, whoops. Got the key for the padlock. Open that up. We have our cheeky move. What is that? Open. It's the little handy torch. The torch runs out of batteries. I can use this with G. It's like a little lantern light. Some extra batteries for the flashlight. Good. Now we know our flashlight can run out. There it is, the torch. Can't make up its mind about being called a torch or a flashlight. That should be everything I need. I want to get going before dark. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I had been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. Oh wow, it's a bit cold. So cold. Don't know where I am. Need shelter soon. Go. So, because I played a little bit of the intro, my entire head went numb a long time ago, but I can still hear the wind roaring past. Or is that some kind of animal in the distance? If I click and hold the interact button, I should be able to manage to pick up the rock. The cold made me weak, but I can still throw things using the exam button. Yeah, see, we're going to need to pick up this rock and throw it in a bit. Oh yeah. Not so weak, am I? What? Break it. Come on. There we go. Open sesame. Ooh. Whisper. See, I can whisper too. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? A heavy-looking wooden barrel. Could be anything inside it. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? Ah, metal rod. It's stuck. There must be something in the way. Ah, a flare. And a hammer! Let's see, I can swing this hammer if I hold the left mouse, blah blah blah, teaching me how to play. I reckon if I hold my down right, it's the same thing. Yeah. Move out of the way. I already know where to go just because I've already played this. Sorry guys. Whoa. To be honest, it'll make this a lot faster because it takes me a while to find this sometimes. There we go. I crouch down. Oh. Something terrible is going on. Ah. And then we're going to take that metal rod. Stick it right in the hole, if you know what I mean. And we're going to push it. Out of my way. Open. I remember there was a flare over here. Gimme, gimme. Can I pick it up? Thank you. Alright, here we go. Whatever I was descending into was 100 feet below ground. Protected by 2 solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. Didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers. All there. If something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me. Friends, parents, teachers were too scared or too far away. I jotted a note down just in case. The entrance to the cave is caved in. There must be another way out. Well, damn. I'm stuck. I'm trapped. I need to get out. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for the Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I have to face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd be best staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough I won't be hurt unless something right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. Alright. Jesus. So a mouthful. My best bet is to hide for a couple of seconds or so, perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. Why? What happened? What's here? Like that, I'll be virtually invisible, and after some time, I should be able to get my night vision back. Alright. So to our left will be the office. That little red circle is where we're at. That way you know from that. The exit's behind us, but it's blocked off. Explosives, northern area, workshop, and a storage. So why don't we go over to the offices, which is just down here to the left. Music is nice and menacing. This say 15th of August 1945, Command Bunker Emergency Airstrip Zulu Weekly Report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received, standard emergency drills carried out, routine runaway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. 1 wounded figurative is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this, in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom. And I'm sure that's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measures, I have now locked up the manual in the chest in my office, and will keep the key on my persons at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. This base is so disconnected sometimes, I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Jeez. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes, 7 bayonets, not necessarily in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C, in order for myself, my glasses. Yeah. Alright. Reconditioning the mine continues to progress. The structure has been fortified for potential bomb damage. An excavation has previously caved in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth, and is discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the frontal cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Is it that thing right there? man, an old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Ah, menacing, menacing. Ugh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. What's this? Backstrin. Alright, what's in his drawers? A letter. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that the mind-altering chemicals nature sown into the rock may be cause of high suicide rates at the Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the Northwestern Lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace, compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed many of the minor symptoms in common with the earlier stage of the paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that the natural deposit of lysergic acid of pH4 formula, recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be presented in the rocks. Need some coffee. A few locals were conducive to interview. Conducive? I don't know. But those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits known as the Turnegate live in the mountains. The university is awaiting the results of chemical testing. Studies continue. Interesting. Key. Anything in here? Batteries. What's this? Save station? This typewriter dates back even further than the war, made in Germany, 1923. Alright. Beef jerky. Nothing. Nothing. What's that? What is that? Let me in. I'm inside the filing cabinet. Nothing else. Alright. Ooh, flare. Locked. I need a key. Okay. That was the key. Cool. Open. Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. It's a bit dated. Black match fuse is one of the oldest, simplest, and most reliable fuses used in modern pyrotechnics. It is easy to create, essentially consisting of just string and gunpowder, but be warned, the chemicals concerned will stain the clothing, and as always, due concern is advised. Materials required: string, preferably cotton, black gunpowder, and Baxtrin. We just got some Baxtrin, so that's nice. The string should be coated with a thin layer of Baxtrin, which acts as adhesive. The string is then carefully rolled into the gunpowder and left to dry at least a couple minutes before use. Alright. Invented, blah blah blah. Dynamite is commonly used in construction. Yeah. Materials required: 1 part diatomaceous earth, 3 parts nitroglycerin, and a small amount of sodium carbonate. Text unreadable, and then simply form into short sticks and wrap in paper. TNT. Their torpedoes could be detonated inside a ship's armor rather than exploding in contact as the other shells. Okay. Yeah, okay. Just some history. Materials required: red phosphorus and barium. The mixture can be carefully and slowly mixed to minimize risk to the chemist. Sulfur can substitute for some or all the barium to slightly decrease sensitivity. Okay. Alright, y'all. I think I'm going to leave this first episode here. Some more beef jerky. And we will see what's hiding in these hallways, apparently. Much love. Take care. Like, subscribe. Feel free to share the videos as they come along. And as always, guys, stay healthy and safe out there, alright? And stay home if possible. Alright, bye-bye.